welcome to Blender. So last week we modeled him, and this week we're gonna be doing some rigging, which basically means we're gonna give this guy a skeleton that we can use to pose him. And so rigging has two main components. It has the actual building of the skeleton, and then it has the skinning of the mesh to the skeleton. So basically telling all of these points, what bones they are associated with and how to do that. So let us start by building. We make sure we have our cursor centered with Shift C. I'll turn off the camera and the light for now so I don't have to worry about it. Shift A to add, and let's get ourselves an armature, which is a fancy word for skeleton. And we're going to change the viewport display in this little orange object properties to in front, which means we can always see it. It used to be called X-ray, so now it's in front. So we can see it even when it's through stuff. So what we're going to do, this is going to be our root node. And because they've moved things around, where is the one that I actually want, which tells me what the name is of my little bone. They moved it, and it hits me every time. Yes, it's the one that looks like a bone that has the name of the bone. That's an easy one to remember, you'd think. I'll call this one the root, and then I'll grab the top. We're in edit mode, by the way, and we're going to extrude up with Z, and we're going to Alt-P, Alt-P, hello, Alt-P, there it is, disconnect bone. Interesting. Yeah, okay, so we still have the dotted line that shows that these are connected. So if I go into pose mode, as you can see, these are connected. If it did not have this dotted line, let's say if I had gone Alt-P, clear parent, now when I move it, it would not be connected, but I want that there, so there we go. Because everything is going to be connected through this root node to, it's basically the base of the game object. So let's have ourselves some hips, and then EZ, a spine, and a chest, and then we don't need a neck. He hasn't really got a neck. A head, and we'll go through and we'll name them all. So this is hips, this is spine, and this is chest. And this is going to be head. And if anybody has any questions or just wants to say hello, don't worry. I do not bite. And I'm just here to have a good Thursday evening. There we go. Give it a little bit of a bend to that spine. Nice. And I'll even make the hips a little bit shorter. There we go. And the reason I put, even though you could probably get away with one bone in here, Unity quite likes it when you have hips, spine, chest. It probably might get angry if I don't have a neck, but we'll find out later. I actually don't quite know. So let's extrude out an arm. Control-Alt-P to disconnect the bone. I'll put that there, and then there. Extrude, and one for the hand, just because Unity likes it. There we go. Hello, literally Prince Charming. Hello. How you doing? Ready to learn some Blender? I'm curious, so of people in the chat, hello, 38 red. People in the chat, so do you guys have like an existing knowledge of Blender? Are you here because you want to know more? Or it's because you don't have a clue? Let me know and I can kind of tailor the lesson to you guys. Because that's what I'm here to do. Alright, so we got hand.L, up arm.L, low arm.L. And what we're going to do is we're going to shift D to duplicate, X to move it in the X-axis, Control M, X, flip it in the X-axis, GX, move it back. Oh yeah. Kai. Yeah. So I have been using 2.79 for work until last month because I'm teaching this other course through Media Manitoba also to high schoolers, and I didn't want to teach them on obsolete software, so I had to upgrade. And it's honestly, it's not different. It's just that everything is in a new place. Extremely fresh beginner. Nice. Awesome. Okay, well, welcome to the world of 3D art. The first half of this tutorial where we actually modeled Raymond is on the new Media Manitoba YouTube channel. Let me grab that for you real fast. 3D Studio Max and Maya. Working in Blender. Yeah. I suppose when you have a lot on the go, learning a new version of one particular program is a hassle. very curious about when you get to importing to Unity. I remember there used to be issues. You can't actually see. Well, are you referring to the part where it flips everything sideways? Is that what you're referring to? Is this new Media Manitoba's? Why am I not able to find the video from last week? Yeah, I'll get back to this. Yeah, because if you aren't careful, it will flip your entire model sideways. Because Y is up in Unity, and it is like backwards here. So, I don't know. Let's keep naming. So, up, arm, R. I will get you that video, Prince Charming. I just will finish this first. R and dot R. And you may note, wait. Oh, it's hand.r. That's why I got confused. You may note, hey Rebecca, this is the right side, this is the left side, and this is the right side. No, because this is Raymond. This is Raymond's day. He gets to choose which is the right and which is the left. Nah, the flipping is fine, just like using the .blend files directly. I think the beta had problem reading them. Oh, I'm for some reason weird. I always go and I just export every time. Once you're kind of used to it, I guess, it's not as bad. I will be like, keep writing over the same .fbx file, so it just kind of like pops into the scene and repopulates itself. So it's quite nice. It's a teeny tiny little foot here. There we go. Teeny tiny little foot. This can be thigh.l, shin.l, foot.l, and Shift D to duplicate, X to push it in the x-axis, and we're over here. And this is going to be thigh.r, shin.r, and foot.r. And yeah, Prince Charming. So last time we talked about one of the most important parts of 3D is keeping track of where you are in the coordinate system. So for example, in Blender, Y is forward back, X is side to side, and Z is up down. So you can use that as like a bunch of commands basically to move things. So if I want to say G, Y, I can keep this kind of pinned to the y-axis, or G X, or G Z. I can even be like G X -1, and it moves it right there. So it's pretty fun. There's a lot of basic tutorials you might want to go through, and I can put up a bunch in the comments at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. So let's do the tail. I'm just gonna grab one, disconnect it, and yep, and yep, and let's call this tail 1. I always like to do 1 as the closest, and then further away. You're welcome. Tail 3. Nice. All right. So, do I want to do for the ears? Yeah, I want to make ears. Might as well. When in Rome. Okay, so that will be one ear and the other ear. A little bit further. Nice. Ear.l and ear.r. Perfect. Okay, so that is our skeleton. So we have the root, we have hips, spine, chest, head, ear, ear, and then on the arms we have up arm, low arm, hand, and then for the legs we have thigh, shin, and foot. And so let's go into pose mode, and I can show you how things are kind of like arranged. So this will control everything. This controls everything above that. Likewise like that, like that, like that. Everything is kind of like, it's parented, right? Okay, so, and now what I'm gonna do actually is do something very interesting. So we're gonna, no, I'll do that afterwards. Let's do basic rigging, and then I'll show you guys fun stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell the mesh to listen to this armature. So we'll grab the mesh, and then shift select, grab the armature, control P to set parent to armature to form with empty groups. And so what that just did is, if we look into our vertex groups over here, it just gave us all of our groups right here. And so we can basically see what is connected to what. If we go to weight paint mode, we can see anything that has a connection to anything else. So right now everything is unconnected, so there's not really much to see. So let's start doing some fun stuff. So you can start out basically just by grabbing stuff and assigning it. That's what we can do to start, I suppose. Yeah, let's. That's gonna be the hips, the spine, and the chest. This is gonna be the up arm, low arm, and L. Up arm, low arm, and hand R. This is gonna be thigh L, shin L, and foot L. Kai, are you gonna be doing loom die? Are you excited? If you are, because I am. Tail, tail, and tail. And let's do the ears as well while we're up here. Ears and ears. So now, so you can see different things have different. Red means it is 100% linked to that bone, and blue means it's 100% not, and there's kind of a spectrum in between. So let's do the tail first, just because it's a nice little easy area. So let's grab the tail with L, hovering over it and pressing L. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into weight paint mode, and I'm going to paint mask it like that. So that means that anything that is selected in edit mode is now usable or is paintable in weight paint mode. So I'm going to use the gradient tool. And first though, where's my brush? There we go. So the brushes, so this blend mix here is important. So right now it's adding, I want it to subtract. Okay, now that it's subtracting, I can go back to gradient. Boom. So all you do basically, this is tail 1, which is this bone here. You just basically drag and paint the rainbow of intensity. So I messed up that one. That was too much. There we go. There we go. Nice. And the more geometry you have, the better this will kind of look. So to show you how that looks right now, let's go to pose mode. And now it kind of, yeah, it needs a bit more geometry, I think, to bend properly. Let me go in there and fix that up actually. Just grab some edge loops. There we go. That's a bit better. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's a lot smoother. And you can go into weight paint while it's bent up like that. And you could be like, you know what, it's got a bit too much, or it needs a bit more here to keep it down. Oh, it's unselected, that's why. There we go. How about that? How does that look? Yeah, that's better. There's like a bit of a bunch in the middle. And that's okay, it's just, could do better. Yeah. And we could subtract some. Yeah, pretty much. You can turn down the strength of your brush as well. There we go. Ooh, follower. Hello. I think I'm actually making it worse. You know what? I'll just leave it as it was. That was fine. Okay, so that's good. Let's carry on with weight painting. Let's do the ears. So let's go to the front view with 1 on the number pad, weight paint, and ear.l. So that's this one over here. We're in subtract, which is good. And I'm just gonna basically, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to do this. Oh, what have I done? Oh, I see. I was in the wrong bone. I was on tail, which is still there. I wanted ear. There we go. Thank you, whoever followed me. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to look at who you were. Oh, my strength is too low. Boom. Back to ear. There we go. Nice. And basically get rid of any influence on that. Any influence over there we don't want. We just want influence on the ear itself. Perfect. And then same with ear.r. Right. Perfect. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so that's that. The head is basically the opposite. Get rid of the ears, since we don't want them to be affecting anything. Really perfect. Nice. And then up arm. And low arm. There we go. And hand. Nice. Nice. So yeah, you don't want to make it super sharp, but you also don't want to make it super super vague either, because then you'll have weird stuff bending that you don't want to bend, and vice versa. And that's no fun. Oh, I didn't get rid of this, did I? Oh, I did. Never mind. I'm a good person. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Okay. No, we're good. We're golden. We're golden. This is... Wait. Aha. I'm a dummy. I was doing it as if it was low arm, not the regular one. Mix. Not high arm. Boom. Put that back. And then back to subtract. Subtract. It always escapes me. Hoi! Comma Blackbird, hello! How you doing? Welcome. We are skinning a mesh here today for our lovely friend Raymond, the cat, who's... I'll leave this like this, just because it brings me joy. There we go. He's patiently waiting to be animated. Somewhat patiently, at least. I don't know. It's been kind of rude, honestly. Just kind of rude with that face. I went and between last session and this time, I went and I just went to the substance painter and just painted him. But if we have time today, maybe we'll be able to look into that. Who's to say? Who's to say? Things might go pretty fast. Yeah. All right. Hope everybody's having a good night, wherever you may be. We're at thigh now. Here we go. So, there we go. And shin. Here we go. And foot. Just a little itty bit is going to be taken off for the foot. There we go. And vice versa. Nice. Cute. And then for the opposite side. Boing. And for the thigh. Oh, other way. Sorry. Wait, what did I just do? No, we're good. Okay. So for the thigh. And for the shin. And just the little feeties. There we go. And the foot. When would it be worth it to somehow copy the weight painting between left and right instead of doing both? So here's the tricky thing. So how do I describe this? So the bones, so if I were to take this mesh over here on this side and duplicate it onto this side, they would both react to these bones. I'm actually not sure how you would get it to swap to whatever bones. Like you'd have to somehow duplicate part of the mesh and part of the armature, both in edit mode, in their own objects. So I'm actually not sure how you would do that. The only way I can imagine doing it would be if you were to make each part of the mesh its own object, and you would have like left leg object with left leg armature and right leg object with right leg armature, or you just like copy that object over here, and then that one would have its own bones and its own thing. But I don't know if you could actually And correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. I don't know if you can actually do it as you just described, where you have like a duplication of mesh and bones together. It seems like something that they would have, but I've never been able to figure it out. So let me know. So let's just double check. Everything's got a link to somebody. Oh, we haven't done these guys. We haven't done the base of the body. Hips. Hips, hips, hips. Don't lie. There we go. And the spine. And the chest. Nice. Okay, so now this should be good. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually also gonna have the very top. I'm gonna add some shoulder type edge loops here, just for lols. And I'm gonna have the very top of his arms be associated. I'll just do this one first. With the chest, because we're gonna want them to have a little bit of bend with the chest. Are you pressing a key to snap on the axis? Yeah, Mr. Troy. How you doing, by the way? 1 on the number pad is front, 3 is side, 7 is top, and then 2 is kind of like down, 8 is up, 4 is this way, 6 is this way. And so using these, you can kind of like move really quickly around. It's kind of like a cool gamepad almost. You know? Yeah. How you doing, by the way? It's been a while. Nice. Doing well. Watching a master at work. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd be called a master. Doing my best, that's for sure. Woo! Yay for doing your best. Okay, so now we have the basic mesh skinned, which is pretty great. Which is pretty great for us. So now we can do stuff like this. Whoa. It's like that's something we're gonna want to fix, right? So we've clearly done something wrong here. I wonder if the same thing happens in the other direction. Yes, it does. So all that means is we need to. Does it happen in the front and back? Yeah, we need to. Not so much in the front and back. A little bit. So that means simply that the Alt-R is to reset the rotation. So let's reset everything. Alt-R, Alt-G. Control-S to save all this. And let's grab this. And let's see if we can smooth out the hip to spine transition. Oh, that's pretty tight. I can see why that's not working. Okay. Smear. How does the smear work? Whoa, that is jankly. Okay. Let's try that again. Let's try that a different way. Let's just subtract a little bit more. You're learning so much. Yay! I'm happy. There we go. That's nice. And then the opposite direction. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so let's try that again. It's not perfect. Maybe I just won't bend the spine so much. There we go. There we go. That's fine. So you can be like, yeah, yeah. And then, nice. You can like move the arms and stuff too. Yay! He's so happy. And let's see how he looks with the render view. Nice. He's so excited. Look at him. He's so happy. That's Raymond. Okay, so that's kind of, well, that's interesting. I'd hope that would not happen. That's interesting, very interesting. I'm gonna fix that real fast. Oh, it's because I drew his shirt onto his arms. Well, that's annoying. Okay. Alright. So let's see what we can do to fix that. Well, the easy way, the really crummy easy way would be simply just to drag the UVs off of that. So sneaky. Look at that. Fixed it. Yeah, that'll do. That's just 3D art for you. Just find yourself the hackiest way to do it, and you're probably doing great. Nice. And like, yeah, if this was gonna be for like an actual production, I would probably go and fix that, but it's just for learning, it's just for having fun. So we're just gonna keep it as is. So now, that is basically, in essence, how to skin and mesh. Basics. I'm gonna go through a couple fun things. We're gonna talk about blend shapes, first of all, because blend shapes are fun. And talk about hip controls and inverse kinematics. So let's start with that. So let's start with blend shapes. Go back to edit mode. So in your vertex groups, you have vertex groups, and you have shape keys. They used to be called blend shapes. I don't know if they were always called shape keys. I don't know. So you have your basis, which you just created, and then you add another one. And let's call this eye squint. So what you're doing here is you're basically moving the points around. So in this one, eye squint, we're gonna set basically a new position. I'm gonna hide the glasses for a second because it's making it hard to see. Making a new position for some verts. So I'm gonna scroll it in the z-axis, and so now when I turn the value up, it goes and that's all really. How far can I push this nonsense? Kind of like him with like sad eyebrows like that. He's like in the middle. Let's just make him completely blink. There we go. Really tiny. There. So now he's blinking. I didn't change the textures at all. I just basically moved his points around. Something to be very careful of with blend shapes, and obviously this would need to get, move this in a little bit, don't mind. So I need to get finessed quite a bit. Don't stay in the shape keys. If you're going, like once you've made a shape key, go back to basis, and bear in mind any changes you make to the mesh will now break all of your shape keys. So this is something you do at the very, very, very end once you're super positive that you're done, is make shape keys, because changing basis will destroy eye squint. So just bear that in mind. I'm gonna open his eyes back up. So he looks so sad. He's like, why do you do this to me? So that's blend shapes. Let's talk about hip controls, because hip controls are fun. Okay, so we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna go and grab our hip, and we're actually going to take it, duplicate it, and then rotate it 180 degrees. And I'm gonna call this one hip sway. Okay? So now this one is going to be connected to the hips. Control P, keep offset. But this is going to be connected to hip sway, okay? So watch this. Connected. Nope. I want this to be the parent. Okay. So now, I'm pretty sure I did this correctly. Sometimes it takes me a couple times. Something's off here. Something's off. Okay, let's try this again. This one, the one that's facing backwards, is connected to the root. This one is connected to the one that's facing backwards, and this is connected to the one to the original? I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna feel very silly if I can't figure this out. Wait, no. What am I doing wrong here? Now I feel like I'm in a conundrum. Now I have to solve it. Okay. I'm gonna clear all of their parents. Okay. So the original is parented to the root. The spine is parented to the upside down one. Oh. It's because these are supposed to be parented to... Yes. Right? Right? No! Wait, something is happening. Okay, this is happening. That's what's supposed to be happening. Okay, I'm just gonna connect these back to the upright one. And see if that fixed it. Okay, well that actually works. So that is the hip shimmy that I was trying to do. It's not quite right. There's something a little bit wrong here. But basically it's just an extra control that lets you move the hips. So this is now your main hip control. What the? Oh no. Wait. Wait for it. Wait for it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I feel silly now for trying to explain something I did not fully grasp. So, that's okay. Moving on, we'll just do something I do know, which is how to do inverse kinematics. I know there's a way to do this, and it's going to bother the heck out of me, but that's okay. For next time. Which is basically, so this is the last bit where you want the feet to follow a point, and the computer will basically tell the knees where to go, and it'll move all these bones in accordance to where the foot bone goes, is what inverse kinematics is. So what we're going to do, we're going to duplicate the foot. So now we have foot L and foot L dot 1. And so what I'm going to do is ik foot dot L. This is bone now, and I'm going to actually completely disconnect it and clear its parent. And same with this one, duplicate it, call it ik foot dot R. And I'm going to disconnect it, and I'm going to clear its parent. Okay. And one more thing we're going to do is we're going to make some knees here. So we're going to extrude the knees, grab them, and bring them forward. Ooh. Hello. Disconnect. Clear parent. Disconnect bone. Bring them forward. There we go. This one will be knee.L. This one will be knee.R. Perfect. Okay. So there we go. And I'm just going to connect both of these to the root because it is nice and neat. And maybe I can grab these as well and connect them to the root. Okay, so now those will move with the root, which is nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is open up my... Is it the bones? Those speak constraints. Oh, it's in pose mode. That's right. That's why. So you can see these kind of like stayed where they were put, which is nice. So let's take everything and revert it back to what it was. And let's grab foot ik, oh, actually shin.l. And we're going to go to the bone constraint properties and pick inverse kinematics. And so what this is basically telling this bone that we're going to be following something else. We're going to pick a target. The target is part of armature. The bone name is ik foot.l. And we also have a pole target, which is this knee over here. Did I ever name these? Did I name these guys? I did. Okay. So it's going to be armature knee.l. And that just did something very fun. Woohoo. Why are you doing that? because I didn't set the chain length. There it is. Okay. So it was trying to pull everything all together. And now the angle, pull angle here, you're going to want to set it to -90. Perfect. And then let's do the same thing over here. Inverse kinematics, chain length, armature, ikfoot.r, armature, knee.r, and pull angle of -90. Perfect. And so now we're going to go to the feet. So foot.l. We're going to actually copy rotation because we want it to move with the foot tracking bone. And the target is going to be ikfoot.l. And this is just going to be in world space, so that should work. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Copy rotation, armature, ikfoot.r. Nice. Okay, so now let us, there we go. Why am I not able to grab things? There we go. Just wasn't going for a second there. Now I have ikfoot.l in my grasp, and I can start moving things around. So you can see it's doing its best to follow what this bone is up to. And most interestingly, the whole rig will basically do its best to stay on those spots. And you can just basically, so that's basically the core use of inverse kinematics. You can do stuff like the tail, for example. This one at the end here, inverse kinematics, and just set the chain length to go from the end to the beginning. And all that does is tell the middle bones to basically follow. We're not going to set this one up to be too fancy. Also, the knees will affect the knee direction. There we go. Yeah. There we go. So now we have a lot more control over our mesh. There we go. Nice. Aww. And so we're not going to be doing much animating today, but I'm just going to go over, before we're done today, the basic principles of animation, which is basically grab your hats and hold them on your heads, get yourself a timeline, boom. We're going to be doing keyframes, just like as if you were, so basically we're going to be saving, let's make this 1 to 32, just because it's a nice number. We're going to be saving the keying, rotation, and location, or lockrot, as they have it here for some reason. You know, very, very nice. We're going to be saving the location, rotation of bones at certain points. So let's say we want him to just have a nice little idle animation. Let's grab his, that's, oh, wait. So, you know how before I was kind of upset that I screwed up? No. This was intentional, apparently. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, that's staying in it. That's part of his idle animation now, for sure. Okay, so let's pick a nice sassy pose for him. So let's say he's just like, and nice. And he's got like, you know, one foot's like off to the side, and the other foot's, you know, over here. He's looks very ready to battle. It's too ready to battle. Calm down. And let's put one hand on hip. Perfect, perfect. Yes. Work it. And yes. This will be his idle pose. Perfect. Okay. And if you want to see what it looks like without the armature on, you can just hide the armature. Okay, this I think is perfect. I'm going to have him coil his tail in the middle of the animation. And let's give him 64 frames with which to start his stuff. Okay, so boink. let's grab all these bones, and with with the keying frame set to location rotation, I've just set a keyframe here, and I shall now set keyframe here. And this, I'll open up as the dope sheet, which is where I keep track of all my little nodes, and I can also make sure that I can view all keyframes on all channels, so that I don't only see some, but I see all. Where's my... Oh, it's over here. Boink. Summary. There we go. Now I can see everything. Perfect. So what we have here are two keyframes, which are on opposite ends, and I'm going to pick one in the middle, which is around 32. Maybe 31. That looks nice in the middle. And basically, all we got to do is change it up a little bit. And that's pretty good. He's pensive. There. And curls his tail in the middle. And now, let's grab all those and let's play it. Beautiful. No, it's lovely. That's this artifact here by his bum. Weird. Oh well. Staying in. I could not be happy with this. There's some strange lighting artifacts that are happening, but let's see. It doesn't seem to be a real problem. Okay. So now that we've, laughs, Mr. Troy. Now that we've transcended Animal Crossing in terms of pure aesthetic, let's import him. Kai, your time has come. So we're gonna go into object mode, and we're gonna grab the mesh, and we're gonna grab the armature together, and we're gonna save because saving is good. Export, FBX, and I'm going to save it with other, shift mesh, shift armature, selected objects, and let's call it Raymond. Today is April 16th, 2020. Perfect. Perfect. And now we're going to go into Unity, and I'll make sure you guys can see Unity. Boink. Okay, so I already have a Raymond in this file. He is in my meshes. So I'm going to grab another Raymond, the one I just made, the abomination that I just created. And we're going to go to there, and we'll just find him real quick. Raymond, April 16th. Okay, I always like to name or date my my meshes and he came in with the pose, which is fantastic. We're off to a good start. So that's good. You guys can see that, right? Perfect. Okay. Sometimes my head is blocking things, and so I get nervous. Okay, I get nervous. So we're gonna go, and we're gonna go to his animation, and we'll call this Raymond _ idle. And it was, I believe, 1 to 64 or 63, I guess it was. Loop the time, loop the pose, and there it is. It came in nicely, and he has a material that I created earlier, which is Raymond. He comes in with one from Blender, but I made one for. There we go. It's more Animal Crossing-y, and it looks better in the scene. So now, all we gotta do is go to, and Kai, I'm using your super text mess, so all of my resources are through your resources. Here we go. So open up the prefab, which is the player character, and we have old Raymond with his old lame nothingness, and I'm gonna scoot him out of there, and I'm gonna bring in cool new Raymond into the player model. Scale him down a bit. It's a bit big. How big is this? You have multiple resources folders. I know, but I don't understand them, so don't judge me. Stop judging me. It's not kind. All right, it's just not kind. So that's Raymond. He's in here now. I'm gonna hide this again, and I'm going to actually open him up. Armature, and all of the bones that we just created are still in here. So hip sway, spine, chest, I want his right arm, his right hand. Okay, so that's that. And I'm gonna take this fishing rod and I'm gonna parent it to that hand. I'm just gonna open the prefab. Huh. I really thought that would have worked. What am I confusing here? Do I have a prefab within a prefab? This should be okay. Oh, the fishing rod? Is the fishing rod what's upset about this? Children of prefab instance cannot be deleted or moved. Components cannot be reordered. You can open the prefab in the prefab mode to restructure the prefab itself. Are you the prefab? Hello, PegJam. Internally, you need to treat all folders named resources the same one. Haha. I tried that and it didn't work. And so I was like, well, might as well just use Kai's. But I'm unpacking this one too. Can I unpack you? Unpack. Just go here. I want you to go there. Yes. Okay, good. Good. That's all I wanted. Is that so much to ask for? Nice. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why. I got it. Did you have to unwrap her? Yeah, so I think he was just toying with me. The sassy cat. So now he's wonderful. There. He's like, dangles. Okay, so this should work. Let's see how this does. I really hope I didn't break the online stuff when I just did that. So we'll find out. We'll find out how we did in a second. Let's see. Message me later and I'll troubleshoot. That's because it could be a typo. Probably, honestly, knowing me. Yes! He came in! Haha! Okay, he's not animating just yet because... Oh god, I love this so much. I love this pose. 1 second. So he's not animating just yet because I didn't give him an animator, which is key. The animator is key. Yeah, I probably just called it resources or something like that, which is lame. Player model, Raymond, and put an animator component on him. Boom. And I'm gonna make you a nice animator. Then the animator will be called Raymond Anim Control. Put that over here. Boink. And I'm actually going to go to the mesh for Raymond. I'm gonna take the Raymond idle I just made and I'm gonna duplicate it so it's no longer tied specifically to whatchamacallit, that Raymond. It's any humanoid mesh can do it. Actually, how is the rig? It should be humanoid. It'd probably have to be configured because that weird hip situation. Okay. Well, apparently it figured it out, which is pretty good. Yeah. It's like, why is there no neck or shoulders? That's okay. It's got it mostly figured out, which is honestly fine. Ah, that worked better than I expected. Nice. So now pretty much you can go on the asset store and you can grab like free animations and it'll work on this mesh because we follow naming convention. Yeah, so let's try that again with feeling this time. Where am I? I'm in like weird avatar configuration zone. I need to go done. There we go. Okay, so now we go to animations, Raymond anim control, and the starter state will be Raymond idle. So let's try that again. And just double check that it actually came through onto him. Yeah, okay. Let's see how that works. Yeah, I love your super text message so much. Yes! Oh my gosh! He's doing it! Wait. Oh no, I didn't have it loop. Dang it. Loop. Darn you. Loop. And I want it to go faster. It has to go at least 5 times faster. There we go. Yes! Yes! And that, my friends, is how you do a rig. Okay? Alrighty. Yeah, so this is going to get posted. Thanks again to New Media Manitoba for all that they do for our local game dev stuff. I can't stop laughing. And for sponsoring this series. We're going to be back next Thursday with more stupid animations. I'm going to have to up the ante on this rig because I've outdone myself. Okay, so it's the ambient wiggling that kills me. That's getting a gif right now. I hope you guys all had fun. I certainly did. And I shall see you guys next week, Thursday, 6 p.m. CST. For those of you guys who are doing Lidum Dare, good luck. And I will see you there. Alrighty. See ya.